Yo, what is good, YouTube? We are back with another video. I try and try and try and try and try, and I get the same results. Today's April 24th, 9:43 a.m. We are back with another loss. I feel like I barely trade anymore. I took 2 trades this week, yesterday's trade and today's trade, and not the play of the day, but we are no longer ultra bullish, but we are trading at all-time highs. So it does leave room for some discretion. We are no longer in a long till you can't market. As we can see, we are no longer producing consecutive daily bullish candles the way we were the last week and a half. We are now showing some signs here and there of bearish indication. We come to the 4 hour and there's no prominent gaps that we have tagged into coming into the session, but I am just looking for some type of entry model to get a quick bid off on this pleasant Friday. So saying all of that, coming into market, we did have 2 1-hour bullish gaps that piqued my interest. This is the first one, and then we had the second one. And at the time that I took my trade, we didn't tag into the second one. Okay, as I was saying, we had these 2 1-hour gaps that piqued my interest. At the time that I took my trade, we didn't tag into this 1-hour gap, but we did tag into this one. And so that was enough for me to start looking for longs. As we can see, I did have this bigger gap marked out, but I don't know why. I don't know. I probably should have waited for this one. Usually I would. I don't know what made me take my trade off of this first one. But anyways, we were also in this 15-minute bullish gap, and as we can see from when I took my trade, we're just showing good signs of rejection. I really like this close on this 15-minute candle. I like this close that we had right here. And this was prior to market opening. But we come into market open and, I'm waiting. Where's market open? Right here. And, I really liked this V-shaped reaction that we had. We have this nice V-shape right here. And, we tag into this 1-minute gap. Or it was a multitude of gaps. It wasn't this is not a full 1 minute, but there was about 2 to 3 stacked gaps in here. So I'm seeing that as a place of high rejection, and that if we clear that gap, then we can just, continue higher to this first high that we have, and then potentially all-time highs. And this would have been my break even. So we see this first rejection, and then we get another strong V shape after we tag back into this 1 hour. And I took my entry because, it looks clean. So I'm not mad at this bid. We just barely get we didn't even get P's for we got about $100, $200 in P's. And from there, we see a quick rejection down into this bigger 1-hour gap that we had. And then we get an even better V shape, out of it. Where I think something's wrong with my mouse for the past few days, but we get this nice V shape, and you're just taking it to this first high, and then potentially higher. But in this market, I don't trust anything, so I wouldn't have taken it any higher. And we had this 1 minute inversion right here. Stops would have been a little bit wide, but I do think this is play of the day. Right here. Let me just drag this over to clean up the chart a little bit. So I probably should have waited for this play right here, but I didn't. I did end up losing my account, and I know this isn't me. I talk to my mans every day, and it's just redundant. We'd even take out this high. Holy smokes, that would have been such a bad loss, a bad break even. I talk to my mans every day, and we have these aspirations and we have these goals in mind, and we just need to execute, and that seems to be the problem. And it's like my reads are sharp, I'm doing everything right, I'm executing right, and there's just no reward. There's no reward for the wicked. Nah, but it's like there's just, I don't know what it is. I did lose this account. I know I just said that, but I really don't know what to do going forward. I need to be honest with myself. I need to be honest with my trading. And even to be honest, actually, today is the anniversary of the first account I bought, and I can't even be happy with my 1 year growth from when I started till now, because I've just been on such a bad losing streak. 4 months, no payout. Another month, no payout. you know, um, just disappointed in myself, in a lot of financial helplessness. I know it is a season, so I'm not too worried. I know my God. I know the God I serve. I know the knowledge He's given unto me, and I just need to produce. So whether that's a job or I get blessed somehow and I can get back to the charts, I will find a way. And the only thing, last thing I'll say before I hop off, the only thing I don't like about this trade right here is that your stops would have been a little bit wide. I wouldn't have my stops this wide. I probably would have had my stops right below this gap, but I would have got stopped out regardless. Or maybe below this wick. Not, yeah, something probably below this wick. But yeah, this runs for 80 points, 78 points, which is a full day. But yeah, I'm done yapping. I hope y'all boys caught a dub. Why not us? Keep the faith. In God we trust. With God all things are possible. With God nothing is impossible.